becomes somehow worrisome knowing that the last election took place in 2018. And most of these people, I only got their declarations in 2025 while on television. Some of us, I am not a hidden face in Cameroon. There is no area where if Ndium goes to, he will not be recognized. We have been battling with such things for the last 7 years. Some of us who missed Konengi after 2018 and are still alive today can testify to you what we have gone through in the field.
Okay.
So my problem is why I started by saying that people take politics as a joke in Cameroon. Politics in every serious nation begins with their base. I struggle to contact people, I don't want to cite their names, some of them who have already made their intentions known, which of course is a good thing today. They are not known in their immediate communities. That poses a problem.
Okay.
Here, television doesn't...
Means a charity that begins abroad.
Good.
Okay.
Paul Biya doesn't go to television before winning, whether through fraud or through
the ballot box.
Frundi was hardly on the media, though he was very receptive and open to the media, we must admit. Kamto hardly goes to the media, but he is known because at least there are some basic activities that has to link you up with your base, with your immediate community, that the immediate community has to carry your voice to the national level. I'm saying this because I come from, my mother is a politician, and watching how she has been doing her own politics gave me a lesson. I will not hide it. I was invited in Boya some time ago. I had to make a conversation there. I was with the SDF members, and I told them this: there is no way you win an election without starting from the base. The presidency is like the top of the tree. If you want the top of the tree to fall, you start cutting it from the grass.
From the roots.
If you don't cut it from the roots, there is no way that baobab tree will fall.
Sure.
You don't, you don't fell down a tree by cutting the branches. Cutting the branches may not even help the tree to get dry because the roots are still there. What have these people been doing for 7 years that can render account in their immediate community is the question that should be on the lips of every Cameroonian now. If you think that in the immediate community they have extended a hand of fellowship as far as community development and community labor is concerned, then giving them a vote of confidence should not be a problem.
Okay.
But as of now, me, I think among all of them are appearing very strange to my eye.
All of them?
I say all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you want to ask about Apostle Ame. I'm talking now about in the sphere. Is my friend, you know very well.
Yeah.
I'm talking in the spheres of politics now.
Yeah, and the impact.
And before you take the microphone, I have an impression. Like I said, some may be real and some might not be real. You know, CBDM has a machinery that is capable of fabricating everybody and everything at any time.
That's an allegation.
I am telling you.
Okay.
Momo is one. I often tell you people, when I'm saying so, I say it clear and I take responsibility.
Okay.
I am saying that at this point, some people are of the opinion that all this upsurge or all this search for presidential aspirant could be a push directly or indirectly from CPDM so that the division continues, because for 7 years now we have been crying that the opposition should come together. And on the eve of the election, we instead see the multiplicity of presidential aspirants. It means something surely is happening somewhere. And if it is not happening, which we pray it should not be happening, we are equally thinking that if there's anybody coming up now to present himself and who cannot align or coalesce with the others, is certainly serving a purpose for CPDM. Okay.
Barrister Asong, when you listen to Njium Emmanuel, do you have the impression that the more candidates are declaring their intentions, the more it becomes tougher for you?
I'm not in competition with anybody.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
All
I've never done anything in my life competing with another person.
Okay.
So for me, there will never be a threat.
Okay.
You know, if you have to be a president, you will be the president. And when you are prepared, everybody will see that you are prepared.
Okay.
It's not today that I started preparing for presidency.
Okay.
If I was a doctor, medical doctor, and I became a lawyer, there's something that pushed me.
Okay.
And I started doing law in 2015. That's 10 years. And it's 10 years of serious preparation.
Okay.
And I did not choose the legal field for no reason. It's very important because the law governs every single thing in the society. And when I decided to do politics, I realized that no, as a medical doctor, yes, I know people's issues. I'm in contact with the people. I'm very close to them. But do I have the knowledge necessary for me to be able to guide the people? Do I have the right reasoning? Do I understand international conventions? Do I understand international treaties? Do I understand the constitution and the normal and the natural laws, so that I will be able to apply them to ensure justice? Because the president of the republic is one who guarantees justice and security for every Cameroonian citizen. So of course I am not threatened. I can assure you, I'm somebody who is always very calm.
Okay.
And I strongly believe in my potential. I strongly believe that I am genuine in what I am doing. Of course, people have their rights to think whatever they want to think. People might think that I am maybe being prepared by the CPDM or not, but which CPDM person is a medical doctor and a lawyer? Which CPDM person will write to the Minister of Finance to tell him to suspend the salary? Which CPDM person is proud to say that he passed his medical concours, medical examinations without giving a dime? Which CPDM person promotes excellence? I was in Rwanda, I did my law school, I had 95%. I had the best mark ever in the Rwandan law school. Who don't know them to be like that? So of course I strongly believe that people will think whatever they want to think, but it's a constitutional right. It's a human right to aspire for the highest position in the country. And when we look through our constitution, the Constitution of 1972 and its amendments of 1996 and 2008, you will realize that our founding fathers gave criteria for any Cameroonian citizen to aspire for the highest post. And it was no error that they made choices of the age to be 35 years. Okay. And they did not say in that constitution that you needed you needed to work on the field, you needed to build some community relationship, you needed to have started from below. That's because our forefathers knew that a day will come where there will be a candidate that will not need to go down to the grassroots anyway. He has already been doing that, because as a medical doctor, I served as a civil servant in Oyumojok. When all medical doctors were rejecting to go to Oyumojok, I went there and I worked. I was there in the crisis. I saw the difficulties, and it's because of the crisis I left. I was being posted to Yabasi. Yabasi, another very, very, very complicated area where most medical doctors refuse to go and work. But I went and worked. I've been in contact with the people. I've been serving the people through free health campaigns. Today, as a lawyer, I defend widows in court for free. So I strongly believe that all the criteria are there, and I think that we shouldn't be biased. Cameroon is a state of law, so we can bring our personal criteria to actually talk about eligibility. So let us follow the constitution, let us follow the electoral code.
Yeah, now as an independent candidate, you are aware that you need 300 signatories from the 10 regions of Cameroon. We are in March. At what level are you with that process?
Of course, that's a very personal process. It's a personal process, and I have started my groundwork. And you first of all have to note that the independent candidacy is an extraordinary candidacy, and it's quite complicated. And until date, no one has succeeded to be an independent candidate. So it comes with so many issues. For example, the timing of when to collect the signatures, because they have to be legalized by the SDO, and we know that from an administrative point of view, legalized documents from central authorities have a validity of 3 months. So are you supposed to get the signature now? If you get the signature now, when do you legalize it? So those are things that have to be considered by the candidate. But Nevertheless, underground work is being done.
Sure. Nzium Emmanuel, we see politicians of some parties, they don't equally have elected officials, but they are very proud to say they want to be presidential candidates. Do you have the impression that some of these aspirants are just animating the gallery?
Of course, of course. Before I come to your question, I think when campaign time comes, my brother there is Dr. Ason, right?
Sure.
Yes, he will not be on the field alone to campaign.
Sure.
And I'm also sure that you're on a media platform that is very serious. People are following you. You see, you might be a very intelligent man, but you might not have what it takes to push you through politics. I know where I'm coming from. You might have served in Yabasi and Iyumojo. That is not the base or a guarantee that you will go through. But I'm wishing that you go through. And my support might even be behind you, that you go through. But we need to be very strategic. When you start telling Cameroonians that you do not need to go down to the field before being voted, my brother, I wish that by the end of this program, you withdraw that. You are already indirectly telling them that the person who has been there for 42 years, never going down to the field,
and won.
And keeps winning, whether through the best way or orthodox or that you can queue in. That said, we need to be very careful. Those candidates, now coming to your question, who think without elected officials they can go through the eye of the needle like a horse, I think they're animating the gallery. But all possibilities are not ruled out. We should always know that in as much as there are impossibilities put up against them, even by the state officials, especially the person who is in charge in that domain, who can decide to come out with any motive to buy your way at any time, the difficulties are there. But one thing that has killed the political landscape of Cameroon remains very much alive, and Cameroonians are saying greed, ego has killed Cameroonian politicians. If for 7 years a well-known and renowned politician has not been able to get somebody to coalesce with, then there is something wrong. If for 7 years, knowing very well that you don't have an elected official, you have not been able to create an atmosphere of conveniency and conviviality with those who matter. Because let me take Northwest, where I come from, for example. Yesterday I was discussing with somebody who is very much present in one of the parties that are animating the gallery, and I asked the person, you people are the most talked about every day. Are you represented anywhere in Northwest? He told me that no, they have combined Boyo and Boom. They have one person who was once a parliamentarian.
You mean Come and Boom? Because
Come and Boom.
Yeah,
Come and Boom. And then the person will try to see. I say, at what time? Will this person be able to meet the front of Come or to meet all the fronts in Boom and in Come, the chiefs who are supposed to pen down the signatures, given that we don't have time? If today, actually, as you people want, I was to become a communicator with you people, what guarantee is there that you people are going in for election? At the end of the conversation, I discovered that there was no guarantee. I must be sincere with you. So, some of these people, that's why I've said, one time ago, I said, the political landscape of Cameroon has been invaded by spiritual attacks. And those spiritual attacks is what no, I'm telling you, because somebody just get up from his bedroom in the morning and say he wants to become a president. Now you tell the person, you need to be with the grassroots. He say no, the grassroots does not matter. I'm eyeing for Yaoundé. You cannot eye for Yaoundé when back home, if in community organizations your name is not even found or written in the books of the community labor. I mean, it is, a country is not managed the way you manage a group of friends. I don't want to talk about family, because family is even the basic unit of the community, and it's very complicated. So all of this put together, you as a journalist will know who is animating the gallery and who is serious.
Anyway, maybe before I come to you, Barrister Asong, this week again we saw the Southwest chiefs said they are backing the head of state, and they are even soliciting that the campaign should be launched in the Southwest,
which makes
when times come. So, with all this happening, what becomes of the fate of these people that we've listed out here? Yes.
Well, their fate is dangling, but like I said, it is not a 100% impossibility. On the part of our chiefs, they have disgraced us enough, because as a chief, you are an institution on your own.
Sure.
Borrowing from the words of
everybody.
Yes, from the words of Reverend Father Tatambwe. Now, when you go out and make such a declaration, I'm not sure that that they took permission or they were speaking on behalf of their community. We had Dr. John Ako, who fired back, and it has gone viral, that these people are agents of propaganda being manipulated by the ruling civilian party, and so we should not take them serious. If they are about to lose their dignity as the custodians of the tradition, let them lose it as individuals without calling the names of their communities where they come from. And when I look at that circle, most of them, 80% came from there, and I started questioning the development rate and there. And you look, that is where I agree with Dr. John that these people remain propaganda agents. You cannot be. And yesterday, Bamesing Ondok, the chiefs equally came out, Hyncenth, with the same song.
The funds of Mr. J and the elite as well.
And then you see that, how will an independent candidate harvest the needed signatures when such people are already backing, except it is out of fear, and that at the backstage they will be able to pen down those signatures. If we were to go by what we are seeing in front of the cameras, it will become difficult.
But Mr. Asong, are you maybe worried with the attitude of the traditional rulers that may render things very difficult for you?
Well, I want to start by a rebuttal. I want to tell my co-panelists that in every principle there is an exception.
Okay.
We live in a community, in a country where people think that things must always follow the same pattern.
Okay.
And what I want to tell him is that there are always exceptions. I remember when I wanted to do my medical studies, people told me it's impossible, you have no family member who is rich, you have no réseaux, but I passed. When I wanted to become a lawyer, people told me, no, it's impossible, you can't do it. But I had my motivations. My motivations were to serve the people, and I succeeded. Now, he wants to make us feel like all politics is the way new politics is supposed to be done.
Okay.
What you're talking about, going to see people in the grassroots, there are different ways to do it. I organize sessions on TikTok, and I have 5,000 people who are there in the diaspora. Okay. Please let me talk. I organize meetings, and people are there, and it's my strategy.
Okay.
As a youth. I have very low means, and I can assure you that from the time I started off with this journey, I've spent only 500,000. Okay. And that was for me to publish my intentions.
Okay.
Messager and the Advocate. Since then, I've just been using my internet, my laptop, and my phone. And all what has been done on social media, the boom and the rest, I have not called anybody, I have not paid anybody. So what you must understand is that politics must not be done as the old people are doing it. In their time, they did not have social media.
I think he's not talking about the old people.
No, he's talking about the old people. No, politics. No, wait, let me talk.
He's talking about
let me talk. I did not
No.
the point.
Please,
no.
I will give you time to talk.
Yeah.
I think he's basically he's talking about the process. Someone so that
the process is based on what is done.
Someone so that you will not take the second step before the first.
Yes.
I think that is what.
I understand. That is what I'm trying to tell him.
Okay.
That process he's talking about is documented nowhere.
Okay.
Whether it be in the constitution, whether it be in the electoral code.
Okay.
So he is only learning from what the old politicians have been doing and have been saying.
Right.
And that's why I'm telling him. Let me talk. When you were talking, I listened to you.
Is a process documented anyway?
Please. When you were talking, I listened.
It's okay.
Let us respect ourselves. So what I'm so simply trying to tell you is that there is no particular process in doing things. Everybody has his own style. And I can assure you that till date, my style has been working perfectly well with practically no expenditures. And I remember when I was starting off with this thing, people told me, you have no money, you cannot. Journalists even told me to stand down, that I should get out. I don't know where I'm going to. Today they are stocking my phones with messages. It's just to say that there is a strategy. I am a young guy. You said I'm very smart. I strongly believe that I'm very smart. And I've said that I'm going to prove to Cameroonians that I will be able to win the presidency just with my knowledge and with my savoir-faire. Now, let me get to your question.
Yes.
Now, I am not scared of chiefs.
Are you worried?
I'm not even worried, even a second, because I'm never worried. People who know me will tell you that Michael is never worried.
You have a strong conviction.
Because I have my strong convictions. I believe in providence. I believe that power is first of all spiritual. God is the one that makes leaders. So I'm not even bothered about that. And everything in my life have proved many people wrong.
Okay.
That you can always make it if you have God at the center. So we must note that the chiefs only constitute about maybe 5% of those who can give signatures, because as the electoral code states in its section 121 in subsection 2, it states that an independent candidacy will be accepted if certain personalities provide signatures for the candidate. And it talks of senators or deputies or municipal councillors or regional councillors or first-class chiefs or the members of the Chamber of Trade and Commerce. And if you look at it, first-class chiefs, of course, they'll be reduced. Might be they're even up to 100, you see. But when you look at municipal councillors, for example, there are about 12,500 municipal councillors. So, of course, anybody who is going for an independent candidacy will not even think of the chiefs. Because when you do your political analysis of the environment, you realize that most chiefs are working for the ruling party. So you should not even put them in your strategy. So your strategy should be to get the municipal councillors and regional councillors, because of course senators who want to be with their parties, deputies, the same thing. Now those in the chambers of trade, of course, they have favors from the state. So why, for example, I for one, I'm coming with communism. That is my political ideology. And communism means that everything will be owned by the state. So why should a businessman give me a signature when he knows that I'll come and take back everything? So you see, so it's complicated. So I know where I am. I know the people I am citing, and I know that I'm going to get it.
Okay, it's true you say you are not scared of anybody. Of course. And for now, the head of state has not publicly or openly declared that he is running. Now, if the head of state declares that he is running for another mandate, such a heavyweight, will you still feel very comfortable?
Oh, my brother, I am not scared. I am never ever scared. I'm very, very confident. And I believe that that's the confidence that has taken me where I am today. I'm not scared of Paul Biya. Paul Biya himself knows. He knows that he has to leave. So the best thing he can do to make his come out glorious is to simply hand over power. And I have promised him, because I know that one of the reasons why he's sticking onto power is because he's scared of the aftermath. I have promised him a special status. You know, in the Bible, King David,
a special status,
yes, to the president, when he leaves, he will have a special status. We are not going to pursue him. We are not going to ask him anything. He should just rest. We have, as the youth, we have decided to start this country from zero and rebuild it as our forefathers wanted.
Emmanuel, I saw you smiling and nodding your head. Maybe you have a reaction before I come in with an...
It's interesting, It's interesting, and I want to think that if many youth could have this kind of courage, I think it would have long scared these old men from thinking that Cameroon belongs to them. I laud his courage, but what I'm telling him, and I repeat, is that you don't bring a new into an old without knowing how the old operated. That's wisdom. It's not knowledge.
And you know that you don't pour old wine into a new wine. You don't pour old wine into a new vessel. I am the new vessel, and Cameroon has to be poured into me. So it's going.
You are not the one drinking the wine. So you are not the one.
I think it's
all depends on how you see it.
Yes,
and what I'm trying to tell you is that the way you see things is not obviously the way things must be done. And I think that as Cameroonians, we must respect the way we talk. The way you have experienced things in your life is not the way I experience things.
Okay.
So you should talk for yourself. Yeah. And thanks for your advice.
Okay. No, as a presidential hopeful,
yes.
I said 1 minute. You should not talk to yourself. Where you are now, you should be the listen.
You should talk to
yourself. Please let him land. I will give you time to talk. Please.
Where you are now, you are supposed to be consumed by the public and not by yourself. So when you say what you are saying, some Cameroonians will look at it as there's a kind of pride that you are bringing up, which is what I and you will never accept. And I will never absorb. Listen, please.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I will be very categorical.
Please, you can put down your hand. That's disrespectful.
No.
That's
you have to I will be very categorical.
That's disrespectful.
No, he's not pointing at you though.
Yeah, no, he shouldn't put his hands out.
He's just demonstrating it.
Listen, demonstrating. Is that the way you look at how?
You did law.
We are wasting time.
You did law, I did education, and in what we call langue d'expression, a technique. Should not.
It doesn't exist in English. What's the name in English?
Please.
No, listen. You don't have an idea.
What's the name in English?
You want to become a president.
What's the name in English?
Please.
I'm talking about language.
No, listen. I am telling you that.
Try to learn,
there is, I read pride and arrogance in the way you are passing your message.
Of course,
it depends on who are in front of you.
I will give you time to talk.
If that is how Cameroonians will perceive it, it is going to be very difficult for you.
Okay.
Please be coming down. Don't see as if you are already on top of the horse, whereas you are still at the floor level.
Okay.
So because from the way you speak,
that's what you think.
Please, from the way you speak,
if that's what you think,
please, Michael, we are
your opinion.
We are wasting time. I will give you time to talk. I will give you time to talk. Don't bother.
And my opinion will always count.
Really?
Okay,
it does not come from me.
Please.
I'm knowing you today. For the 7 years I've never known you.
I must you know me. Other people know me.
Emmanuel, please. Michael, please. Let's move forward.
Yes.
There is this popular expression.
Yes.
Most of those who have declared are telling us that they are respecting or they are honoring the people's call. Yes. Many of them, the people's call. Yeah. Men of God have said God has sent them. I attended the press conference where Pastor Joseph DEGRE announced his own candidature. Yeah. And even went further to say in 2018, he can say without mixing word that God did not call him for. People's call, respecting God's call. Finally, is God calling everybody, or the people are calling everybody to stand?
Okay, Cameroon is one of the rare countries where everybody with an idea believes that his idea is superior. Even when you see clearly that they have nothing to offer to the nation, they will tell you that they have something to offer. And this coming from a man of God is very disheartening. It's terrible because in our African culture, we need to respect the dead. Even if they died committing suicide, or they died at a natural time. So coming from such those are the people I've been calling charlatans in the house of God. And you remember I told you on
saying that God did not speak to them.
I say God. You remember I was on this platform. I told you for the first time I support Minister Paul Atanganji for closing down such churches. That has been a very big problem for Cameroon. Look at somebody who wants to become a president and then calls another departed soul that was never called by God. I mean,
no, he said he told him that he's not talking about it now. That he told him personally that, my brother, God has not called you.
That's political blackmail and gossip, which to me it has no weight.
Okay.
So when you look at it, the good thing is that for now we are talking about presidential aspirants. By the month of July or August, we will know who is going in.
We will talk about presidential candidates.
What will be left of them will be what they said that animated the political scene in Cameroon. And even if they have to go for the next 7 years, because after 7 years we will not see them again. They will not be on the platform.
Okay.
They will go missing. They will come back in 2032 and they will animate again. And you know, animation is part of politics. Because without animation, the political game, it wouldn't be the way it's supposed to be. So we need more animators. I am even thinking that this week, more of them should declare.
Of course, the presidential candidate for the SDF will be known today, because they are currently holding an extraordinary
Yeah,
Congress.
that one is not a hidden secret. We already know who is going to be.
Well,
so we know that SDF will be.
You know, because you are smart. Many do not know.
So
let's wait for the
presidential election.
Yes,
but I'm talking about these ones who are coming out to declare in the morning and then in the afternoon. We need more of them. At least it also proves that there's some kind of political freedom in Cameroon, and then some kind of maturity coming in. At the end of the day, we shall know who to pick.
Okay, there is a small message here for you. Dear presidential aspirant, I fully support you in your candidacy for the presidency of Cameroon. I am convinced that your leadership and vision are essentials for the progress of our community. That's coming from for the progress of our country. That's coming from Pierre Yanel from the East region of Cameroon. We have we have many of we have a lot of messages. We shall be taking some definitely before the end of the program. And then I come back to you. You are aiming to go through as a presidential as an independent candidate.
Yeah.
If it happens that you don't succeed, will you abide to the fact that maybe a political party should endorse you?
Well, the truth is, when you are going in for presidency, you are going in to serve the people. You are going in to serve the people. You are going in to serve the nation. Of course, when you choose, because there are two types of candidacy, either by party or by the independent candidacy. And of course, I chose the independent candidacy for several reasons. I believe that today we have more independent voters than voters who are militants in parties. And we have over about 4 million independent voters, if we consider those who did not take part in the 2018 elections, which are about 3 million did not take part, and the newly registered. So I believe that in political parties as we enshrined principles of tribalism, favoritism, as we enshrined the principles that if the political party wins, then he must favor those in the party first. And that brings an issue because we lack meritocracy and we'll go back to mediocrity where you are forced to please people because they gave you a vote or the victory. So that's why I chose the independent candidacy, because I strongly believe that to bring the change which we desire today, we must put in place a system of meritocracy, which is what I want to put in place, where a minister of health will not be appointed because he's my friend or because I know him, but will be appointed because he has dropped his CV, he has been examined both written and orally, and if he's the best, he has a position. So the independent candidacy for me is the best choice, and I strongly believe that I'm going to fulfill the criteria because today the momentum behind my candidacy is increasing, and despite the fact that my co-panelists say that he's just knowing me today, I'm surprised. The question I should ask him is he in Cameroon? Because has he been, he was in Cameroon?
He said he's just meeting you today.
He said he's knowing me. He said he's knowing me. He said he's
meeting you physically today.
No, he said he's knowing me today. That's what he meant. Because meeting me physically does not mean anything.
Let's ride on.
It's just to go on to tell him that he has been doing politics in the wrong direction and he has been looking in the wrong direction.
He's not a politician.
No,
let us correct certain things. No, let us correct certain things. He doesn't have any political affiliation.
That is his point. But you must not have a political affiliation to do politics. If you're already giving advice on what is happening on the ground, how things should be done, you're a politician. You think that being a politician, you must be in a political party? No. So, of course, as I was saying, it means that he has been lost. And this is simply what I think. I think that if today I've chosen the independent candidacy, I think that is the only way out. But if at the end of the day,
you don't succeed,
exceptionally, I don't succeed, which I believe that I'm going to succeed, because the change I want to bring is one which is we're turning the page.
I understand you.
So I don't even want to think of a political party, because there are over about 4 political parties that have called me to talk about that. I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I believe that I'm going to get my signatures by the grace of God.
Diome Emmanuel, what are the implications of a large number of candidates on the electoral process as such that is coming up?
No, the implication is very clear and simple. Let's completely divide ourselves so that CBDM can win. Now, when I started, I said, any candidate coming up now, there are 2 possibilities. Some of them could be serious, but the possibility that they are coming in for the favor of CBDM to me remains 80%. Whether somebody likes to hear it or not, that's a bitter truth. You know, there are some truths that are very bitter. And again, Cameroonians are watching that the inability of, and that is where I cite a bit with the independent candidates. Cameroonians have been watching the inability of the opposition political parties to come together for the common good of Cameroonians has proven that they were not doing politics for Cameroonians. They were doing that politics for themselves and for their personal interests. If one's personal interest takes center stage, you see the kind of politics they are doing in Cameroon. You will bear with me that we are in different forums. An opposition will not fight a CBDM member the way an opposition fights another opposition. I mean that they spend several days of the week fighting each other without mentioning CBDM, which means that it's all about greed. That said, I want to tell my brother that I have no interest in politics. You might like to know. Because what is done in Cameroon as of now is bigotry, backbiting. It's not politics. And I'm not into such. I've had the opportunity to meet top government officials in this country who are into politics. And I have told them what I'm telling you today. So I have no interest in doing politics. Politics is yet to be done in Cameroon. What is done in Cameroon today, like political gossip, as we were saying here a while ago, backbiting, fighting each other, that's not politics. That's not politics of development. And so if you think that I've been into politics, or I want to teach you I'm not teaching you anything. It's an opinion, it's an idea. You can take it, you can reject it. As well as your candidacy can still be up, I may choose to vote for you, I may choose to reject you. So that is what I am telling you. So don't do politics with a lot of emotion, because I see you talking, your chest is beating so fast with a lot of emotion, which means that you might not be right for the top job. So be coming down, as I told you, be coming down. In politics, when you are to face the nation, you don't face the people with sentiments or with a lot of emotion. Be coming down, my man.
Okay, we have equally seen a lot of mobilization at the level of the civil society space, and you belong to one of the civil society organizations. Are you guys equally working towards maybe proposing a better, another independent, independent candidate for Cameroonians?
May I profit to use this platform to say that next week we are sending out invitations to all I'm saying this with the authorization of Dr. John Ako, who is the national leader of that movement. That next week we'll be sending out letters of invitation to all those right down to Njangi groups to sign in the line of coalition. We don't care, like we have always done. Whether it is CBDM, UPC, SDF, we sit with everybody, we talk. At the end of the day, we'll tell you that this is what, we were in a fact-checking mission. And we came back, we have met their careers, we have met a lot of them, the OCs and the rest. At the end of the day, we will know what we can be telling Cameroonians to do. And it remains a matter of choice. Nobody is forced to do what he or she doesn't want to do.
Okay. Michael, you are an aspirant.
Of course.
And I see you very, very convinced that you are going. This is just a question. Somebody is asking me here. And I think I should maybe just transfer it directly to you. If at the end, because Elekam has the final say to decide who is a candidate or not, if at the end, your candidacy is flushed out by Elekam, maybe for lack of some criteria, what next?
Of course, I have so many things to do in my life. I'm a medical doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm an arbitrator with the Kigali International Arbitration Center. I am a notary, I'm a part-time teacher. I've planned to also do architecture. So there are many things. I've planned to build cars. So there's so much to do in my life, and it's not only about presidency. Of course, I would like to even let most Cameroonians know that if I'm made president, I'm going to drop the term of office from 7 years to 4 years, renewable ones. And that's because I have other things to do. I'm thinking of a united Africa might be even the next president of Africa. Being bilingual, I think I can unite everybody. So there's so much to do in my life. So when I see people behave like politics is all about everything.
No, it's a simple question. It's a simple question.
Of course.
He's watching us and he wants to know.
Okay, of course. So for me, if it doesn't work out, then of course I wasn't meant to be the next president of Cameroon. So
I like the answer. It means that it's not a do or die affair.
No, it's not do or die. I'm not desperate about it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I have so many things to do.
So, Njium Emmanuel, we are already moving out of our time. Maybe let me just give you the mic so that you dish out your last word before we come back and draw the curtains.
The last word is that the first constitution of Cameroon remains the citizens of Cameroon. The second thing is that to defend this constitution must be through the people's call and the people's will and the people's wish. And this people's will and wish can only be expressed through the ballot box. You see, the two regions have tried guns, and I've always said there is no bullet that is friendly.
Yeah.
There is no bullet that brings peace. If there was one, all the youths would prefer to buy it, so that when we shoot it, it brings peace.
Okay.
Now, let's go to the ballot.
Okay.
If you don't have your voter's card, try and have it. Having it, and having in mind that if in the past, let's not live in the failures of the past.
Okay.
If in the past we failed because we thought there was fraud, let's come on massively.
Okay.
Double the number of the past. Be more vigilant and protect our vote.
Thank you. In less than 1 minute, please. Just your last word. We don't have time.
Well, the first thing I want to say is that I want to send a message to the civil society. I want to send a message to the civil society that they are not doing their job appropriately.
Okay.
The president of the civil society, who claims to want to bring people in coalition, is part of or supports a particular candidate. So if the civil society is supposed to exist, they're supposed to be neutral. More to that, I've spoken with some of them, asking me if I have a loaded bank account. So I'm really asking myself which type of civil society we have today.
Thank you.
So this said, I would like to encourage each and every Cameroonian to know that this year is a year of change. They have to go out there, get registered on the electoral list, and make sure that they exercise their constitutional voting right. I strongly believe that if we work together, hand in hand, we will bring the change we desire in Cameroon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We don't have much time. It is here that we are drawing the curtains of the program. If you missed out on anything, rebroadcast will be on Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Until we meet again next Saturday, which will be Women's Day, of course. We shall give the pride of place to women. We shall have a lot of women on set to discuss their issues. Stay blessed and bye-bye.